Hey AJ, how are you?
Hey Sherry, I'm doing great. You?
Awesome. I'm doing well, thank you. Let me get some housekeeping out of the way. It'll give some folks a chance to get here and then we'll get started, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. If you want to go ahead and turn off your microphone, you'll probably enjoy the experience better when you're not speaking, just because of feedback and stuff. First of all, welcome to AJ and welcome to our audience, whether you're going to be listening in real time or on a replay. I appreciate that support. I'm Sherry Pluskota, and I am running the longest running poker space here on X. Many thanks to my sponsor, Elevator Results, who's been with me the whole time. If you need a tailor made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their website at elevatorresultspt.com. A reminder, you can find the recordings of my past spaces and interviews on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please like and subscribe. It's free of charge. Come play poker with me in Malta. I'll be hosting the Nightcap Tournament on October 31st at the Malta Poker Festival. I'll be in town from October 29th through November the 3rd. Don't forget to bring your Halloween costume because they will be doing a VIP package giveaway to the best costume, and that's going to be at an event a little earlier in the evening. For those that are keeping up, Operation Quilt for Charity has begun. I dropped off the poker t shirts to the quilter last weekend, and we'll talk more about that in the future as I work out what charity we're going to, do the donations to and so on and so forth. So be looking for that information in the near future. I also want to let you know that I have secured a date and location for the sixth official Spaces meetup game in Las Vegas in December at the Bellagio. I'm going to release the date here sometime this evening in this space. Um, on to my guest this evening, and I see Barry and Michael are here. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. My guest this evening is AJ Rudolph, who is from the Chicagoland area and is currently the senior product manager at Tasty Trade. She recently ran her sixth hidden gem half marathon. Don't know why, but she did it. So kudos to her. AJ played a very important part to the kickoff and start of a business called Poker Power. On Hendon Mob, AJ is listed as having over 36,000 in total live earnings, with her best live cash being over $6,000 for her 2022 first place finish in the $180 Women in Poker Hall of Fame Bounty Tournament at Resorts World. Her first mob entry was in 2021. My guest served as the vice president of the Women's Poker Association, otherwise known as the WPA. She upped her game, though, and got herself appointed to the office of president. Congratulations and welcome, AJ.
Oh, thank you so much. I was like, oh
You
yeah, I got a whole history, huh?
you do, and that's just the tip of it, I might add. Didn't want to give too much away because then what would we have to talk about?
That's right.
So I'm so glad you're joining me this evening because I've been a huge supporter of WPA.
You
Uh, some may
have.
some may not know that I actually was one of many ladies that put up some seed money that actually started that organization. So I do hold it near and dear to my heart. So before we get to the WPA, I want you to tell us how you got started playing poker, please.
Sure. I've always played cards. My family's played some cards. In college, I played a lot of euchre because I'm from Michigan, and we played
I love it.
a lot of euchre there, and spades and hearts and all of that. But I didn't play poker in high school or anything. And right out of college, I had already started dating my husband, current husband, not husband then, and we were visiting his brother, and his brother had this basement poker game that went on. And there were some women that played it, there were some couples, and they were like, "Come on, we're gonna go play." And I was like, "I don't know how to play. You got to teach me." And they did. And they were playing all kinds of crazy calls at games, and it was fun. We had a great night, and I enjoyed it. And we came back to Chicago, and looked around and found a bar game here, which we started playing. Really enjoyed that. Met some people at the bar game. The bar game ended up getting shut down. And so one of the guys was like, "Hey, I've got this house game. You guys should come." And we went and played the house game. They sometimes did, it was a Friday night game, so it started at like 7 or 8 o'clock. We would do one tournament, and then the tournament would be over at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we would start another tournament at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning until like 6 a.m.
Glutton for punishment,
That's
we poker
right.
players are.
That's right. I
I
mean,
love that.
how much fun, right? And
Yeah.
me and my husband met so many of our close friends through that particular game. That game actually still, in some form, plays an online home game every week or so, and so still a lot of the same people are in that, which is really great that everybody stuck together and still loves the game. And
I think that's awesome.
yeah, it really is.
I love that. I love that. I'm going to pivot away from poker for half a second just because this topic is near and dear to my heart. And I was totally jealous when I read online that you guys went to see the Savannah Bananas play at White Sox Park.
Oh
So,
my God, yes.
so tell us, how fun was that experience?
Absolute blast. Oh, I have never seen anything like it, and they're so good at what they do. My son plays baseball. My older son has played, and he umpires, and my husband coaches, so we love baseball. But
Right.
this is a whole different thing, and they're so about the fans, and they just get everybody into it, and there's just so much goofiness, and they'll come by and sign balls for the kids, and the game is going on, but the outfielders like playing football toss with the crowd. It's just awesome, and they're and the thing I was surprised about actually is they're really good ball players. Like they don't suck. They're actually
Right.
really good.
Yeah, and some have been in the minors, and they'll even have some guest appearances from former major league players. And for those that don't know, the Savannah Bananas are kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters of the baseball world, and they have different rules that they go by. For instance, some of them would be there's each inning is worth a point, so whichever team scores the most points in an inning wins that inning and a point for that inning. A batter can steal on a wild pitch. Um, the batter is walked. It's called a sprint, and the batter can actually keep running, to second, third, or even home plate, because what happens on a walk, the defense has to go around the horn with the ball until all of the defensive players actually touch the ball. At that point, the runner has to be on a base or at home, so to speak. So and I think my favorite rule is if a fan catches a foul ball, the batter is out.
I was just gonna
Uh,
say that one. I love that too. How great.
I know it's awesome. So I just kind of wanted to touch, and there's some other crazy rules they go by too. They dance and do all kind of. It is really fan friendly, just like the Harlem Globetrotters. So when I read you got to go, I was excited for you, really.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'd love to go again. It's hard to get tickets because they're so popular, but we
Well, that's why I haven't gone yet.
right.
Because I really want to go see them. Of course, they're from Savannah in Georgia, and that's where I'm from, as you know.
Yep,
And I really want to go see them on the home field and have the whole, Savannah banana experience. And so I'm kind of being stubborn. I have checked other cities, but the timing of me traveling never has matched up. So when it's meant to be, it'll be.
that's right. You'll enjoy yourself, no doubt.
Oh my God, I can't wait because I used to coach baseball, not softball, but
Oh
baseball.
yeah?
So yeah, so I love it. Like my kids all played baseball, and my husband and I both coached separate teams, and then he was my assistant coach, and so yeah, I can't wait to see them. So anyway, let's keep it moving, Sherry. Um, all right, I want to talk to I want before we get into the WPA, because I have so many questions, I want you to answer so our listeners get more familiar with the WPA. But before we do, we've had many discussions here in Spaces. Um, and unfortunate, well, how can I say? Hold on, I got to get my co-host up here. Sorry.
No worries.
Um, and there are some, believe it or not, that do not believe women have been poorly treated at poker tables. And thankfully, the number of doubters is very low. But still, from time to time, I like to ask the following question of my female guests because I just think it's important to have people tell their story so others can hear what happened to them in hopes of just getting the information out there correctly. So, what is the worst thing said or done to you at a poker table?
Hmm. Um, I've witnessed a fair amount of things. I've not had a ton directed right at me, which is good.
Yay.
I know. I've had guys when I beat them in a hand like slam their fists on the table really hard and glare at me and just walk away when I bust them out, stuff like that. So definitely had anger directed at me. Luckily, nobody has um been super over the top. I've seen it happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, luckily. I've seen it happen to some other women at the same table I'm sitting at, or even the dealers.
So
Um,
give an example. Give an example.
the I was watching, or I was at one table, and it was a female dealer, and the guy got pissed that he busted out, and he took his buy-in receipt and threw it in the dealer's face and walked away. I'm
Unbelievable.
just like,
That sounds like a Puggy Pearson move.
right. I'm just it was almost like spitting in her face, that sort of thing. It's just like, come on,
So
like,
unfortunate.
because it's her fault you lost,
Right. Right.
things like that. And I have friends that have been called the C word, and which is just, come on, man.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so
Oh
and
yeah.
it's usually because they're winning, and the guy is pissed to lose to a woman, and that's really unfortunate. They're not doing anything differently other than playing the game. So, uh,
Right. And sometimes it's not because you're a woman. They're just mad that they're losing, right? Sometimes it is because you're a female. Sometimes it's just because they're losing.
correct.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that you're a male or female for sure. But I like to bring that up every once in a while as just a reminder to everyone that we're all advocates for the game, and we all need to, make sure everybody's being treated the correct way at the poker table
Yes,
or anywhere as life goes on. But speaking of being at a poker table, you and I have played poker together many a
we
times,
have.
and it seems like we always have a great table, doesn't
We
it?
do. We do. It's always a fun
It's
table. I mean, we're both kind of chatty too, so it might have something to do with it.
right. I do. I thought about that today. I was like, what? Her and I've played several times together. We've always had a fun table, so I like it.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to as I mentioned, you're the current president of the
Yes.
WPA. What are your visions for that organization?
Yeah, so a couple of things. Kind of speaking to what you were just talking about, the WPA has Raise It Up Day, which is coming up on October 1st, which is just a reminder and something we want to keep pushing. Just that respect and have fun at the tables, and we're all competitive. I play with my friends even all the
Right.
time. I'm not going to go easy on them. I want to take their chips too, but in the end of the day, like, I'm always going to be respectful. I can be pissed. I can walk away. Like, you don't have to make it a bad environment for people. And that goes for men
Right.
and women. Like, nobody should be treated bad at the poker table. And so one of our big initiatives is to make sure that rooms hold people accountable.
Right on.
And so that's one of the things that we're really pushing. I had taken a student of mine. I do some coaching for beginners, and had taken her to go play live for the first time in a casino, to one of the rooms in Vegas. And we're sitting there and she's playing cash and I'm sitting behind her, writing notes and things so that we can go over later. And at the table across from us, this this guy, and he's I mean he's just drunk, but he's clearly a regular. And
Right.
he's he's calling the dealer. The dealer was probably gay, and the guy was like calling him gay slurs. And I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh my
hell no.
God."
Oh,
And I
hell
was like,
no.
I cannot. And nobody was saying anything, not a
Oh,
single
hell
person.
no.
So I walked up to the desk and I'm like, I, this guy is clearly a regular, but like he can't. I'm like, I'm bringing a new person into your poker room, and this is the behavior that she is seeing. Like this would scare
Unacceptable.
so many people away. Like we want new players to come in. We don't want them to see this kind of crap. So they did. They told him to knock it off. But I was like, why do I have to say something? the the poker room needs to be able to handle that kind of thing. And so we reach out to a lot of poker rooms and just say, hey, I know you have a policy on, handling bad behavior. We want you to, one, post it, and two, promote the fact that you will, if there's a problem and somebody comes to you and says there's a problem, you'll handle it and you won't ignore it. Um,
Right.
and every poker room in the world should be like that. So it's just our way of, making sure that there's safe places out there, because there's a lot of women that are intimidated by going to the poker room. And even some guys who are new, they're intimidated too. And we want to grow the game, not scare people off.
Right. And it should be a fun place, not a place where you're hearing people being insulted. Like,
Yes,
what are we doing here, people? Please,
absolutely.
please tell our listeners what the final table swag bags are that the WPA provides.
Yes, so that's one of the other things we do. We fundraise. We're a 501(c)(3) charity. We fundraise all year long to make sure that we can provide gifts for the women's final tables, a trophy for the winner, and sometimes like you'll get a WSOP ring or a Run Good ring or other things. But not in all of these events do you get a thing you can take away other than the cash. And so we want to make it really special, for these events, and continue to make them fun. So we have the trophy and we have the final table bags, which just have like some WPA swag. We'll throw something else in, like some candy or a candle or a bracelet, or just little fun things for the women, uh that to celebrate that they did it. They got this far and this is special and good
Well,
for them.
and one of my prized possessions is a card protector that you can only get in one
Yes,
of those swag bags.
that's
So I got,
right.
and it's very awesome made. I love the design of it. It's well made. Yeah, I
Yes.
love my little card protector.
Good. I'm glad. I have one of those too, and I love them. Those are great. I
Yes,
love seeing other people use them. So I'm like, yeah, you made a final table. Good job.
right on. Okay, tell the audience what the Purple Tie Guy campaign is.
Yes. So we hear all the time from men who want to support the WPA. What can they do? And so we're like, you know what? You can be a purple tie guy. And what that really means is you support women in poker. We have some patches for that. So like for instance, at the horseshoe circuit here in Chicago, I ran around and I was sticking a purple tie guy patches on all the dealers that
Right.
are guys. Because they're like, of course I support women in poker. I'm like, this is a great way to say you support women in poker. You're going to speak up if you see any issues. You're gonna help when you need to help, and really just cheer us on. And so that's a great way. If you want to be a purple tie guy, and support women in poker, we love that.
I think I've passed out thousands of those patches.
Right?
I
Absolutely.
think I have. Um, okay, I know you guys host online poker games for fundraising purposes.
Yes.
So if somebody wanted to get involved with that, how could they do that?
Absolutely. So they're just for women. What these are games where your buy-in goes to the fundraiser. We pay out one seat for a big event. One, it's to help get more women into these big events, which is great. And then any extra money past the seat goes to support the WPA to help with these programs that we have. And what you can do is you can go to WPA.poker/fundraisers, and that is where we have information on the next event. We usually post the information about a week in advance with the link to sign up. The next one will be October 21st. They're always on the third Tuesday of the month. And we play them on Poker Stars, and it's a real fun one to play along. You're supporting the WPA, and you have a chance to win. Right now, we're doing a WPT seat for December for the Ladies Championship. After
And
December,
what
we'll
are
do one for
typical,
WSOP.
oh, sorry,
So no, go ahead.
sorry, sorry. What are the typical price ranges of the tournaments?
Yeah, so it's always just a $30 donation, gets you into the tournament to support. So it's a really good ROI. You could
Absolutely.
$30 to try to win $1,000 or an $1,100 seat. So yeah, great value, and you're supporting.
Absolutely. Okay. Is there anything going on with the WPA that I haven't touched on that you want to bring up?
Um, just one of the things is, I want to make sure one of my biggest initiatives is, the WPA has brought me community in the poker world because poker can be sort of a solo lonely sport sometimes.
Right.
If you're, if you're even if you're going with friends, sometimes it's like, well, I busted out and everybody's still in, or vice versa. And
Absolutely.
right, and so you don't always have somebody to hang out with, and so that's one of the biggest things for me. I think people are more excited to go places when they know somebody. So I think community is one of the biggest things about the WPA that we can bring. Any woman who wants to go play or learn more, it's a way to connect with other women in your area around the country. I see women, rooming together and saying, "Hey, I'm going here. Who else is going?" So you have somebody to meet and not feel so alone in the sport. It's fun to have
Right.
somebody to talk to on break. It's fun to have somebody to go to dinner with. So if I'm
It's
ever,
very important to network.
yes.
Very, very important to network.
Yes, absolutely. So if you don't have community, this is a place where you can find some community. And I that's one of the most important things to me. And if I'm ever going somewhere and you're also going, you know, hit me up, please. I will happily, make sure you know where you're going or have somebody to hang out with or, that sort of thing. Like I'm happy to have that role because I don't ever want somebody to be like, you know, in the corner
I
and not
feel,
knowing anybody.
I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way that any way I can help introduce them to other people,
Yeah,
have them come to dinner with my group of people or just by ourselves or, stir them in the right direction, whatever.
exactly.
Um, I think it's important, people did that for me along the way and it was very important. I think back sometimes that maybe I wouldn't have stuck with it if I, didn't start having that support system within the community.
Yeah,
Somebody that I could call, hey, AJ, what about this? Do you know anything about that? So I'm not spinning my wheels trying to figure it out on my own. I think it's
exactly.
very important.
Exactly.
I want to I want to introduce you to Asimov as my co-host. That's Isaac. Please meet AJ. Do you have any questions for her?
At the moment, no. I'm definitely loving the conversation though, because it echoes literally what you and me were talking about earlier today.
It
That is
It's
does.
nice to meet
actually
you.
quite amazing. It's very nice to meet you as well, AJ.
Well, I'm giving you the floor, Isaac. Why don't you give us a little update on Green Visor Gang's Phase 5 rollout that took place on Wednesday?
Thanks a lot, Sherry.
You
Yeah.
bet.
GVG just entered its fifth season. We are an online poker club. In case any of y'all didn't know that, probably just AJ. Um, we have just started our fifth season of basically it's a 2 month cycle that we run. We have passes that you can mint on the blockchain. It's $30 a pass, and what it does is it gives you access. We run 16, well now 17 games. Each one of them is a $200 guarantee for the three up top to split. Um, and let me see what else. If you mint five of our passes, you get an extra five games that are for max minners solely, and that ends up being a pool of about, I don't know, 25, 30 people versus our usual games that are about 80 to 100. Um, Besides that, if you hold three of our passes, you get whitelist, which means you get access to our upcoming PFP collection. Which, yeah, it's to be determined when we're going to be dropping that because right now we're working on the art and a few utilities for it. But that's about it. That's about it. We're currently in season till the third week of November. Our mint is going to remain open the entire time. So if you want to try our online community, we've been around for 3 years. Just go to Green Visor at Green Visor Gang here on X. I'm usually in that profile as well, hosting spaces. But today I'm in my personal. And yeah, you can get into our Discord. And if you want to check us out also online, we're at greenvisorgang.xyz. That's our new website.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Isaac, for that update.
Thank you, Shay.
It's been a little, I was waiting for you guys to roll out so we could get an update. Um, and hopefully that's going to go well for you guys. You guys are working hard to bring some great positive stuff and bring the NFT world and the poker world together, which you guys know I don't do NFT. That's all Greek to me. But for those that do, God bless you. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity that they're bringing the NFT world and the poker world together. And I know, like Jonathan Little is a big supporter of you guys and you of him. And so good luck with that, Isaac. I appreciate that update. All right, let's go back to our guest, AJ. Um, what's the most times you've rebought into a tournament, AJ?
Um, probably only like three. I am not a huge, I'm a pretty uniform kind of person. Like I always like to have a plan.
Right,
So I'm definitely not a like habitual rebuyer. I actually, I mean, when I first started playing, like, first started playing in bigger events outside of home games or whatever, I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm going to buy in this one time. I have come since to realize that because of variance, it's really good to at least have a second bullet.
right.
Um, so I do plan for that.
Oh,
Usually have at least one bullet, but honestly, I'm like, I always have a cutoff point of like I don't like to buy back in if it's 25 big blinds, less than 25 big blinds.
right.
So, it's I'm not one of those that's firing 10 or 11 bullets into something.
Well, and I hear you. And let me just let you off the hook for a minute. The reason why I bring it up, I've been bringing it up to guests over the past probably 6 months because there was a player that went down to Biloxi in February, maybe it was the beginning of March, and he or may have been in January actually. But anyway, he rebought into a $400 tournament 36
Oh
times.
my gosh.
And we've had lots of discussions about rebuys and should they be limited or not. So, if I were to say to you, AJ, the world of poker is putting a new rule into place and we want your input. We're going to limit the number of rebuys into all the tournaments around the world. How many rebuys do you think players should be allowed?
One.
Um,
Really.
okay.
I really do. It's
And I'm
because
going to tell you,
go ahead.
I interviewed the gentleman that did that because I was like, I just got to I got to know. I'm just a curious person, so and
Right.
I just want to know like what is your thought process and basically it was if they're going to let me do it, I'm going to do it, And when I asked him that question, his answer was under five. I think it was three. It may have been five. I don't know, but it was five or less, which I thought was kind of funny because he's the one doing it. And
Right.
and his response was, as long as they let me do it, I'm gonna do it. And and really, as those that are trying to be good stewards of the game of poker, which I consider myself a steward of the game of poker, I consider you a steward of the poker world. Michael, ASG, Bathwater for buy-ins. He's just here for buy-ins, but Barry as well is and Isaac are stewards of the game, right? Because we want the game to be good
Yes.
and a positive experience, and so I forgot where the hell I was going with this. So when I talked to him, we were, and the discussions and spaces along the way on the topic is looking at all the layers to that, happening in a poker tournament. And it's not just, oh, the prize pool is going to get bigger. Yeah, that's one part of it. But what about the experience for a new player at that table?
Yeah.
And he did tell us that he was able to rebuy at one table. I want to say he said 8 times, but it was multiple times. It could have been three. I don't remember. But he was able to stay at the same table
Oh, jeez.
and rebuy. And so you got, what was the experience like for the other people that maybe
Right.
could only afford one buy-in? And do we want their experience ruined by somebody that's there rebuying 8 times, or you know what I mean? And so as the discussion grows on the topic, you really start looking at it kind of differently, like, is it really good for the game?
Right.
Um, and I really don't think it is. And I think if the operators were honest with us with the numbers, and this is no slight to them, they're in the business. Um, I would think that the number of people that buy more than 6 times into a tournament is probably 3% or less than the players in the player pool.
Yeah.
So are we really going to cater to 3% or less? Or do we want to be catering to the 97%? That's something else we have to ask ourselves. But anyway, I'm kind of babbling about it just because I
No,
think,
I totally agree with you. I mean, I the game should be a mental strategic game, not who has the deepest pockets.
right, right. And buy
And
their way to the final table.
yeah, exactly. And
I
that
mean,
does bother me. So,
yeah. And what does that do? Like, what if your new student was at that table? They would
yeah.
be like, what the hell is going on here? And they get pocket aces. And by the way, he was going all in blind.
Oh, for
I forgot.
goodness sake.
Yeah, I forgot to add that part. He was going all in blind. And what if this new student, your student, is at that table and wakes up with pocket aces and he's all in blind? Well, who's not calling with pocket aces?
Of course. Yeah.
And guess what? Pocket aces get cracked by 9 deuce offsuit, and your new student thinks it's the worst experience of their lifetime. Do you think they're
Right.
coming back?
No, exactly.
Hell no, they're not coming
No.
back. And I'm sorry, but I don't think it's good for the game.
No.
I think there should be rebuys, yes, but I think there should be a limit. And I'm not even mad if the limit's like 6 or 8, but anything over 8, I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm
Yep.
out. I
Yeah.
just,
That's
I
nuts.
can't agree to that. So anyway, it's just kind of a topic that I'm interested in discussing and getting different opinions on.
Yeah.
Um, I know you've been.
You made me laugh with the 9-2, by the way, because I there's this very wild game that I will show up to occasionally. It's just a very cheap buy-in, so people play kind of crazy.
Right.
There's this guy named Larry that I play with. And Larry, they call it getting Larried with him because he just plays any two cards sometimes. And um, I shove all in, and he goes, AJ, I like you, so I'm gonna call you. I'm like, no, Larry,
Oh, the kiss of death.
fold, just fold.
The kiss
He
of death.
absolutely. He had 9-2,
Oh,
and he flops 9-9-2. I'm like, come
of
on,
course he did.
Larry.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
asshole.
right. So yeah, exactly making the point.
It's sort of like when somebody says, oh, what the hell? I'll call you. No,
No, no.
no, that's the kiss of death. Do not call me and say that.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Isaac.
The 1-3 game at Commerce Casino also reeks of the same evil because that same hand has caused havoc many a times. I'm talking about like I even looked at the dude because he did it so seriously too. You know, like he looked like one of those dudes. You know, like studying the maths and everything. And I was like, "Whoa, you called with 9-2, huh?" And he just looked at me and was like, "Yep,
He's so proud of
Oh,
himself.
geez.
pain, pain is all I can describe it as."
So
Oh,
much pain. It's
So much.
shoot
terrible.
me now. Oh, that's so, and we've all got that story, right?
Absolutely.
We all have that story. And, we all have run into that player that is going to have a 90% VPIP because they're calling you with basically any two cards.
Yep.
And of course, they're running hot, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do about it. Okay. Next week, my guest is going to be Yvonne Montenegro from the Multi Poker Festival,
I
which I
love
know
her.
I do too. Uh, and weren't we at her wedding together at the Whitechapel in
Yes,
Vegas?
we
Yes,
were.
we were.
The best Elvis wedding ever.
I know, it was amazing. I just hate I was sober because I was running around that day doing stuff for my meetup game. But anyway, it was I checked off a to-do list in Vegas, a wedding at a wedding chapel with Elvis as the curator. But anyway, she's going to be my guest next week, and she's going to come on and talk to us about the upcoming Malta Poker Festival at the end of October. And for my listeners, please be here to support that show as well as this one. I appreciate you because she did give us a Malta Poker package for the meetup game to give away. So we want to support her,
Oh, that's
visiting with us
awesome.
next week. Yeah, for sure. So I know that you went to Malta last year. Is there anything I must see or do?
I did. Oh, it was amazing. So, they, I actually didn't go on this, but I heard it was really good. They did a tour of Valletta. I don't know if that's how you say it, but
It is.
and it was a great tour. A lot of historical places, some beautiful churches, things like that. And then one of the things I did do was some snorkeling there, and it was near Valletta, I think. But we just took a boat out, and it was beautiful. It was still cold because I went to the April Malta Poker Festival. You're going to have a better time with the water temperature, I think, in October.
I know, but the air temperature may be chilly.
This is true. But I loved it, and I'm kind of like nerdy when it comes to animals and fish and all the things. And it was jellyfish season, and there were
Oh,
jellyfish everywhere, and it was awesome. I took so many pictures of these
oh,
jellyfish,
that's
hundreds.
awesome.
It was just they're just beautiful floating in the water, and and then of course we're getting in the water. I'm like, okay, don't sting me, but we were fine, luckily. It was
I-
just so nice being out in the Mediterranean Sea, and we had some guys pull us on one of those like water couches through the screaming
Oh,
our heads off, having a blast. It was
I
great.
think I
So,
remember the video of that
oh, there's
one.
video for sure.
I
Yeah.
think I remember that video. I was like, oh, hell no, they are about to flip off that
Yes.
sofa.
It was too funny. Too funny. But yeah,
I
it was.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Well,
Oh,
that's awesome. What about any restaurants? Any recommendations?
yeah. I mean, I ate pretty much at everywhere in the Hilton there that was next door to Portomaso Casino, and they were all fantastic. There's an Asian place that's in the basement of the hotel, and that was fantastic.
Nice.
Um, obviously get some pool time in. But yeah, it was just great. I mean, I loved every bit of it, and I really am hoping to get back there one of these days.
Well,
It's just
I'm thrilled.
hard to manage the, job and kids and all the things.
Well, and I agree, life gets in the way sometimes. And I will tell you, though, that I think it's Delta Airlines is going to do a direct flight now.
Did it happen? I heard that was they were thinking about
I
it.
think so.
Oh,
I
that's
haven't looked
awesome.
since, yeah, I haven't looked since I initially heard about it, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's going to take effect, which, will make things so much easier because, of course, right now we have to do a layover somewhere, and
Right.
so it just
Yeah.
adds to the travel day.
Oh,
But
direct flight would be amazing.
yes, exactly. So, looking forward to that at the end of October for sure.
Nice.
So, where's your next stop going to be? Where are you
Uh,
going next?
that's a good question. October. So I'm not far from Michigan. We have fire keepers up in Michigan.
Right.
Usually the MSPT comes up there in October. So I'm gonna try to make my way up there for that. I have occasionally driven up. They do satellites every Saturday night for like weeks before it, which is fantastic. So occasionally I'm like, it's only 2 hours. I'll drive up and back for the satellites, which I've done a couple of times.
I'm
Um,
going to tell you something. My closest poker room is 3 hours, so 2 hours sounds
nothing.
delightful.
It's nothing, right?
It's nothing.
Yeah.
If you
So
have that opportunity, yeah, 2 hours is
yeah.
nothing.
So I may try to do that on a Saturday night here, try to satellite into it and then go play that because I do love the MVS PTs. I love how they're run. Jeremy Smith does such a great job with everything.
He's fantastic.
Yes.
He's joined us in the past, and I think he's doing a great job with that tour for sure. And he's just a delight.
He
Like he's
is.
just a delight for sure. And so, tell us, how did you do at the circuit event at Hammond?
So I had a pretty good circuit this time. I took third in the ladies event, which
Nice.
was great. It was an interesting day because, some of those days you just have that feeling where you're like, this is going to be a good day for me. Um,
I love
in
it.
the first 10 minutes, I tripled up because people were a little
Nice.
wild. Yeah, I don't know. People were playing some really crazy hands, and I was just calling down with middle pair. And what are you doing in this hand? But that went well. So I was playing really well. I was making really good calls. I was putting pressure in the right places, and I was like, this is going to be a good day. So much so that so this guy Daniel, who's one of the WSOP floors, who I love to death. I saw him on the first break, and I was like, Daniel, this is mine. This is my day. I called it early. He's like, "You're shooting your shot." I'm like, yes, calling it.
Oh, I love it.
Because I just had a feeling all day that it was going to really go my way. And it did for most of the day. I got hit by the deck a couple of times. But I played well, I ran well. You need all those things, right? So we get down to the final table and I had a ridiculous amount of chips, which was great. I had some friends there, some WPA advocates were in town, and then some local friends because this is at my home casino too, so
Right.
that was nice. And so they're like, make something cool out of your stack. I'm like, I'm trying to play poker. So I made a half-ass castle out of the chips. And and then they colored me up. I was like, well, that's not as fun. Um, but it went really well. And I'm also there kind of hosting the event with the WPA, so I'm like running around all day and making sure everybody's happy and having a good time. And so it was really a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed all the women there
Oh.
at the final table. They were great. We put
So, who were the final three? You and who else?
It was me, Teresa Simon, who goes by T,
Yeah.
and then a woman named Diva, whose last name I forget, but I played with her around the Chicago area
Awesome.
before. Yep, so the three of us. And then there was another woman who took fourth place, who I can't remember, but we played four-handed actually for quite some time.
Nice.
Just passing some chips back and forth. And then that woman went out, and then the three of us played for a while too. And I just tried to pick some spots. It was three-handed. Um, and I mean, blinds were really high too at this point. He raised from the button. I was the big blind. I had pocket sixes. And I chose that. I was still chip leader. I chose that spot to put pressure on her because I had gotten her to fold in spots before. I'm like, if she just has some face cards, I think this is the spot. And so I shoved all in to try to fold out hands that she has that are just, button opens there. And unfortunately, she woke up with pocket nines, called me, and took a whole bunch of my chips. And so that was my my spiral down.
And Tammy went on to actually win that tournament, right?
No, 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 no. T won it. That Tammy was she was in
Oh, Tammy was
Cincinnati.
the Cincinnati
Yeah, yeah,
tournament.
yeah.
Yeah. Cincinnati. Yeah, I was looking at, I was following both of them. That's why I have it mixed up.
Yeah.
Tammy did a great
There
job in
she
Cincinnati. She
did.
had two great deep runs, so kudos to her for sure.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. T T ended up winning this. Yeah.
in Hammond.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just had
My
a couple
mistake.
hands every time in those last three of us. Every time I had a good hand, she just had ended up having a better one, and that's how poker goes sometimes. So I was my closest to a ring thus far.
Well, guess what? That's pretty damn good, young
Well,
lady.
thanks.
Oh, yes, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm proud of you for sure. And guess what? It's only going to keep getting better.
That's right. Got to keep pushing at it. I've final tabled both the last two circuits I've played. One was just one of the 1 day open events. So I'm like, I just got to keep pushing. I'm gonna get there.
Absolutely. Tell us how you study. What do you do to study?
Yeah. So a couple of different things. I have some friends that I talk hands with. One of them is Jim Reed from Rec Poker. We talk hands every couple of weeks. And I also I work part-time for Faraz Jaka, doing some community management for him. And so in that space, I'm able to have access to his content while working for him. So I don't study as much as I should. I know what he says is, that you need to spend like probably like a 1-to-4 ratio of study versus play every week. And I definitely don't do that because I'm trying
I
to
think
find enough
that's a
time to
pretty
play anyway. But
I
that's
think that's a great ratio. Let me tell
yeah,
Isaac, please shut your microphone off, please.
I didn't
Isaac,
know it was
please
on.
shut your
Sorry about that.
that's okay. It happens. We touch our screen and all of a sudden the microphone goes on. No worries, buddy. Um, I think that 1 to 4 ratio is. I think that's a great point to make
yeah,
because some people. I have friends that it's like I have this one friend that for 3 years I've been begging him to go have seat time because he actually does it the opposite way. He does it the opposite, like 4 or 5 to 1. Um,
really,
yeah, and I keep telling him you're never going to improve your game if you don't have any in life seat time. Like he has
absolutely,
no seat time whatsoever. And I begged him so many, and it's excuse after excuse after excuse. And quite honestly, I think it's more anxiety for him
oh yeah,
to go, and he's comfortable online. He feels safe being at home online. It's all
yeah,
those things. But he also wants, pardon me, I got the hiccups. He also wants to be a pro.
right.
Well, you got to get out there and get some seat time. And I want to say it was at the end of last summer. I'm pretty sure it was the end of last summer. He actually took a trip to a casino a couple hours from where he lives, and he spent like 4 days playing poker in real life. And it was like a new person. Like he was like, "Oh my God, I get it. Why you've been telling me to get out and play?" And
Yeah,
I'm like, certain things, yeah, online is great, but there's certain things that you get to see, hear, feel, whatever when you're in a live poker game
yeah,
that you're just not going to get online.
yeah.
And so I love the fact that you're saying 1 to 5 for studying, because I think studying is very important. Do you prefer um, like a one-on-one coach? Do you prefer videos? Do you prefer reading, or do you do all of it and just am good with any of it?
I've done all of it. I used to do one-on-one coaching with Melanie Weisner, and she was the one that kind of talked to me. She's like, "You really should, have some coaching." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And then I did it. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." Just having somebody look over your specific spots. It's
Right.
so helpful to tell you what you could do differently or what you're doing wrong. And it really, really made my game so much better and made me, I mean, profitable at that point. So that was great. But I do watch a lot of Faraz's videos. I take notes. You can't just watch it, you have to take notes. I think
Right.
because one, that helps you remember it, and two, I go back to those notes. So like before I go play any sort of circuit or any live event, I go to my notes and I pick out three things that I'm gonna remember for that day just to focus on. Like these are three things that I really am like, okay, keep these in mind because you can't, fire hose it, but I can
Right.
really focus on these three things today, and that's gonna help me with my game. And that really gets me in the right space to go play.
So, do you have any pre-tournament rituals you do?
Not really. Other than that, looking at that, I always feel like I want to, have enough time and not be rushed and like be able to get really zen before I play and be in the right headspace. But the fact is, I have children, and I'm usually running
Right.
running around getting them handled for the day so I can go play and not be bothered. So that's
No,
my
I hear you.
pre-play routine.
I hear you. Now, do you prefer to get to a tournament on time or late reg?
Uh, I know there's I know there's a lot of people who are like, ignore the first few levels, it's better to late reg. Um, I really only play live about once a month. And I'm usually playing like four or five in a series at that point. And I love playing so much that I just want to be there as long as possible. So sometimes I'll just go for the beginning. But I used to be like, oh God, if I'm not there for the beginning, that's bad, and I'm like, wait, that's silly. So so if I'm
Yeah.
running late, I don't stress about it. I'm just like, whatever, I'll get there when I get there and everything is
Right.
fine. But
But I think it takes a while to get to that
it
point,
does.
um, because you feel like you're missing something if you're not, like if you're a new player
Right,
and you're
right.
going to that tournament, like you're missing something if you're not there for
I
the
gotta
kickoff.
hear him say shuffle up and deal.
And the sooner you can come to grips with it's okay to be 10, 15, 30 minutes
Yeah,
late and the world's not going to end,
no,
the sooner you can accept that, the happier your life is going to that tournament.
yeah,
Because that means if your Uber is late or your meal is late or
yeah.
doesn't show up or what you're waiting on towels at your hotel room, it's not the end of the earth that you're going to be late, right?
Exactly. It is what it is. Everything is fine. But
Yeah,
I don't like coming in when I'm super short stacked either. Like I said, I won't register a tournament if it's 25 big blinds or left. So I'd rather have more chips to work with early. And honestly, I'd rather like find those fish and just stack them early.
right.
So,
Right.
you know,
You have more time to stack chips, of
yeah.
course. I hear you. But I'm going to tell you the best results I've had at a tournament. I registered 15 minutes before registration closed and I finished in second place in the
Oh
tournament.
my gosh.
Yeah. And so now I'm like reevaluating my entire life in poker.
Right.
All
Right. You're like, wait a minute.
right, you're right. All right, Isaac, go ahead. Your hand's up, buddy.
Yeah, it's just I've been hearing y'all talk about so much stuff that's near and dear to my heart. One thing though on the studying, so you guys, the person that you review hands with, you guys basically go over like, what do you think about this hand? Would you have played this hand any different?
Yeah.
Is that like, okay,
And we both
okay,
we
yeah,
both study it with in other ways as well. So we bring like I'll be like, hey, so Faraz said this, or this person said this. What do you think about this? And he's like, oh, that's a good one. I didn't think about it that way. And he'll bring me nuggets from his stuff too. But then we'll go over specific hands that we've played recently. And we're usually pretty in line with what we like. I'll be like, I did this, and he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I would have done, or I had this, and what do you think I should do here? And he'll tell me, and then I'll be like, that's what I did, perfect. But it's nice to talk about it too if you disagree with how the person played it, just to hear that perspective, and it makes you think about things in a different way if somebody else would have played it differently. And then helps you up your game that way.
super dope, super dope. Love that. Hell yeah, and yeah, I definitely like that. That ratio is interesting. The 4 times to 1, is that what you said, or three
Yeah,
times
four
to
four to
one?
one, 4 to 1.
4 to 1
Yep.
makes sense.
Because
Okay.
I
Okay.
just want to play
Yeah.
all the
That's,
time, and I was like, no, but I need to make myself study.
yeah. I feel that. Believe that. And I have kids and all that too. So
Yep,
I'm
you
like,
get it.
man, do I feel you? Man, do I feel you? I'm cooking dinner right now. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And he was picking up his daughter earlier.
Right?
I can attest to that because he was on the phone with me.
Yeah.
There
I
you go.
was.
Oh, okay. For those that are curious as to when the meetup game is going to be, again, it's going to be at the Bellagio. I appreciate Craig and Sean McCormick for having us back. It's going to be at the Bellagio Poker Room on December the 12th. This is the first time that date's being released. So you guys are getting the scoop. Uh, Everybody's welcome. It's a cash game. We give away lots of swag and fun stuff um, and this last time we gave a poker package to Malta away. So you never know what we're going to give away. The Bellagio gave us 3 packages of 2 nights stay at the Bellagio to give away, all kind of Bellagio swag and books that people donated, poker books and otherwise. Um, some phase 5 passes from the Green Visor gang. So mark your calendars, December 12th at 2 p.m., our 6th official Spaces meetup game. Everybody is welcome.
I'll
There
try
you
to swing by,
Well,
Sherry.
I'm
I
glad
should
I
be in
heard
town
that.
then.
I knew you would be, Isaac. And AJ, we would love to have you. And if the WPA would like to donate 3 things, 3 t-shirts or 3 hats or whatever, 3 bracelets or something for Splash the Pots, we'll take it.
Awesome.
And
I'm sure we can come up with something.
that would be great. And of course, we'd love to have you. Uh, it's a lot of fun. Isaac, this will be what, your fourth one or fifth one?
This is my fifth. Yeah, I think this is my fifth because I've only missed. I think I only missed the first one.
Oh, then it's actually your fourth because you didn't come to Best Bet
No, I
because we
did
did
not come
one
to
at
best
Best
bet.
Bet.
So there you
Yeah.
go.
So fourth one.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun, that's for sure. And we have a good group of people that come, and we are very thankful to all the donors who give us stuff away to give to do Splash the Pots. And the dealers love us because when we do the Splash the Pots, the people that play for the prize don't just put $2 in and we play the hand face up. If you don't want to play for that item we're giving away, then you just sit out of the hand. There's no betting in the hand, just 2 cards dealt to everybody, and the best hand wins the prize, and the dealers get the pot. So the dealers love when we come for sure.
I bet.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's just a fun way um to do it. All right, rapid fire. Are you familiar, AJ?
Yes.
All right, here we go. And of course, you could pass. Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Sour Patch Kids or gummy bears?
Oh, that's tough. Probably gummy bears.
Do the dishes or cook?
Cook.
Pizza or burgers?
Pizza.
Of course, if you didn't say that from Chicago, I would be. I'm going to say something. Texting or a phone call?
Texting.
Cubs or White Sox?
White Sox. I'm wearing a White Sox sweatshirt as we
Let's
speak.
fucking go. South side all the way.
That's right.
Team chop or team no chop?
Usually no chop.
Online or live poker?
Oh, I play more online than live, but I like live is better. It's just a better. I like being in person.
Thank you for playing. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Just gives everybody a little bird's eye view onto maybe some other sides of you. Um, I'm going to let you off the hook. Is there anything you'd like to bring up that we haven't covered? Anything you want to promote or tell us about?
No, I think we covered everything. So
I
thank you so
love
much
it.
for having me, though.
Thank you for joining us and stop in anytime. I do a daily space during the WPT and the WSOP. Feel free to stop in and plug anything you got going on or tell us how your poker's going. And we'd love to have you anytime, AJ.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Sherry.
Thanks. And I will send you a reminder about the meetup game as it gets closer as well. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Everybody that's tuned in, I appreciate you. I see you down there, Ronnie and Michael and Barry. Appreciate you stopping in tonight. And those that'll listen at a future time, I appreciate you as well. Isaac, enjoy your family this evening. I appreciate you stopping in and helping out.
Appreciate you too, Sherry, and followed you, AJ. Much definitely going to be following what you do. So good luck.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Barry, appreciate you, buddy. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right, bye.